The future is biometric/neurometric. Because the information that we get now for how the brain and the body perceives reality much faster and deeper, and with all these calculations that it does and produces decisions, is understanding really human nature, right? So how much would you say that if I ask you, let's say there is a bank, that was for a bank, and the bank wanted, actually one of the biggest European banks, one of the biggest French banks, wanted to redesign the experience of the branches, right? We still have branches, regardless of the mobile bank, there's still physical space. So how can I predict your behavior? What kind of ways, big strategic ways I have to predict what you will do tomorrow? I can do 3 things actually if you think about it. The first is to ask you, what would you do? Okay, yellow color, red color, which one do you, that's traditional marketing research.
Behavioral.
That's not because I ask you. It's cognitive, bravo. It's cognitive because I ask you.
Got it.
Now, I can ask you through a questionnaire, I can ask you through an interview, I can put smileys. It doesn't matter the way you give me the feedback. I ask your conscious part of the brain to react, right? So that's what it's called self-reporting, because you report about yourself. The other way that I could do it is I could do it behaviorally. Okay, I design the one, I design the other. It's like A/B testing, right? You know A/B testing, and then I see what would you do. This is actually behavioral psychology from the 40s and the 50s. If you've heard about Skinner and Pavlov with his dogs, that's actually a lot of online research. Now you have A/B, and then you. And there's a third way to understand what you would do is by exposing you to different options and measuring your brain activity. So the unconscious, mostly, what it does. Which one of the 3 ways? Self-reporting, to ask you what you would do. Observing, because it's observation, right? Behavioral observation. Or neurometrics. Which of the 3 predicts better your behavior? What would you say? Since I'm here today, I hope, because I chose it as a career. And actually, statistics and research prove this. The saddest thing, or the most interesting thing, is that if I ask you about what you believe, what would you do, predicts your behavior the least. And there are studies that go low as 2.5% of your behavior, or 50, which is kind of luck, right? It's 50-50. But really asking you about yourself and what would you do predicts the least your behavior, which says a lot about the role of conscious and unconscious and all the other. And from the behavioral, I know behavioral is very popular because of online world, because we do a lot of behavior, we buy, we comment. It's very popular, but actually the most predictive is neuro. It predicts up to 91% of your behavior, which is really, and this is published data, it's not like anecdotal business data. So actually what we did for this bank, so this bank wanted to globally change the feel of their branches. And they had a couple of designs, and they did one design which was very flashy, a lot of colors, very strong. Really, if you drove down the street and you saw this facade, you would say, that's fantastic, I can see it. And it did conscious-based research, focus groups, questionnaires. Even most executives in the bank chose this with strong colors, because it makes sense that if something is strong, it will stand out. And in this cacophony of stimuli in our everyday world, it would stand out. And the second option was almost the same, the colors representing the logo of the bank, but with a white frame in the middle that the entrance of the branch, the ATM, and the logo could be within this white frame. Okay, traditional research, self-reporting, what you think you would do, chose the flashy colors. But somebody in the executive board in the bank intuitively said something is wrong. Even the CEO liked this flashy solution. So research and then this person in the executive board said, I don't feel, maybe let's do one more last study, neuro study this time. And it did, we proven the opposite. The best for the brain was the less flashy, the one that this white frame in the middle made the different important elements, which was the entrance, the ATM, and the logo to stand out. Actually, in all the metrics that we have to measure in what is called neuromarketing, this solution that looked less flashy actually made for the brain much more sense, and it helped the brain to navigate the stimuli, to understand which one is this bank, where is the dam entrance to go in,